Happy holidays, everybody. For me, it's just after Thanksgiving here, and I'm working on cleaning out this garage. It's kind of hard to tell here, but we've got games kind of everywhere. Turn the light on, maybe that'll do nothing with this bright sun. So here's that Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet. That's a Surf Planet. I started stripping it and didn't really like how the citrus strip was going, but it started, sure. Time ran out. And we got a Cruisin' USA here and a Cruisin' USA there. This one is everything minus the monitor. This one is everything minus the seat. Chassis works, but needs a little bit. Had plans to put that out on location, but I don't think that's actually going to happen anymore. But now I've got these two huge Cruisin' USAs in my garage, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Robotron Minis, plus a hand-built one that has no assignment yet. And I can't fit a car in here at all. There's a Tempest over here, a friend's Galaga that I need to put new green vinyl on, the Shooting Master here, which I keep thinking about getting to. Track and Field's gone. You guys might actually be able to see that on location, but I did keep the rollerball control panel. That's fine, but oh yeah, monitors. This is not good, and forecast says snow in a few days. Not sure if I'm actually going to get everything in or not. At least I need to get one car in. If I get my wife's car in, everybody's happy. But here's the monitor to this Frogger cabinet here, which this is a Tiger Heli. Currently board plays blind because the monitor's not working. And this cabinet's in rough shape, like literally, I think, disintegrating on me. So because I'm running out of time and I need to get the cars in, here's my plan of attack. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just crumbling on me. I don't know. It's literally falling apart. I mean, if you come over here and look, it's just a pile of dust. Oh, but it is a Frogger cabinet. So here's my plan. I think I'm going to put it on Super Dolly 2000. I'm going to slather the heck out of it in wood hardener and preserve this as best I can. And I'm going to throw a monitor in it. And we're going to put it in the basement and play Tiger Heli for a little bit until I can convert it to a Frogger. So there's the Tiger Heli board and remnants of the Frogger power and the modern switching power supply here. Taking the monitor out is kind of a weird thing in these. It's like you pull it out and then you have to like rotate it 90 degrees to get it out. But so I'm going to put it on its back. We're going to throw some wood hardener on it, let it sit, and maybe I'll move it into the basement provided the whole entire thing doesn't fall apart on me here now. And if it does, well, I tried. I don't know what to say. I will be disappointed. When we moved this, we wrapped it, and unfortunately the forecast was clear, and we went through several torrential downpours, which I think just kind of sealed the deal for this. Even though it was wrapped, highway speeds ripped the plastic right off when it was on the trailer. So that's it. Oh, but this is I think this is a Monroe joystick here. It's nice and smooth. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna tilt it on its back and we'll take a look at the bottom. All right, here it is on its side. It's seen a lot better days. There's not much left for leg levelers here either. It's like either, I don't even know, or these ones just hammered in. Doesn't look like it. Looks like there may have been other ones here at one point in time. Oh, the threads are still there. Can I see? I have to go climbing in it. Whatever. Alright, so I'm going to come over and just knock all this stuff loose and throw some wood hardener on it. And maybe get a leg leveler in there. At least keep this thing off the ground. This is dying. It is just going to disintegrate away from me. But I gotta get cars in. And you know what? Patina is in, right? It's all the rage. Well, at least we're gonna stop what's happening here. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's go throw some wood hardener on it. So the first thing we're gonna do is just kind of come in with a wire brush and just knock the stuff that's like literally falling off away. That way, you know, we think that we've got something better to hold on to. I mean, this cabinet is going to die on me. Like, look at this. Ugh. But maybe, you know, it'll be enough to hold it together. God, look at that, it's just crumbling away. Okay. Sure. Knock all this loose stuff out. Like, I think if anything does happen and we do decide that we're gonna save it, they cut new sides. Gotta cut the bottom off. But I don't know. Look at this. Oh my. Okay, well there we go. We'll just slather it and see what happens. Maybe it'll hold. I'm betting not. I mean, up at the top it's not horrible, but you know, because even the water got on and up here, like look what happened over here. Like that's from just being old and wherever it was. This side's not horrible. Alright, let's get to slathering. So here's the wood hardener I'm using. I just use an old cat food can or something to put it in. You don't want to use a foam brush because it eats the foam brush away. How do I know? I did it. I tried it. I was like, I'll just use a disposable brush. It didn't work. Just gonna use this grody brush here. And we're just gonna come in and soak it all. And we'll go from there. Like, I don't even care. Like, this is just going to die. This poor cabinet. Somebody will get it and take care of it. At least we've stopped everything going on. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to do this, and we'll let it dry, and we'll see what happens. It takes 2 to 4 hours to dry, so we'll see. All right, guys, back to slathering. It's breezy. I can feel snow coming. Well, not really. It's blue skies here, but it's probably coming. So I slathered it up. We'll see what happens. It just looks like everything's now wet and it is sticky, and yeah. So we're hoping that this works. I gotta put there. I don't think there's any T-nuts in these holes here. So I might just put some like runners on the bottom or something for now, just to get it in and off the ground. Oh well. All right, there we go. We're gonna wait for it to dry, and then let's see. Let's go take a look at the monitor over here. And there's the monitor with some burn-in on it and my shadow, you know. And it's a G07, and I've got some spare G07 chassis, so we could rebuild this and put it together. And I don't know, I'm just rambling now. Alright, we've gone ahead and we've put on the wood hardener. It's not all falling off now, which is good. Except for that little piece. It definitely feels nice and hard. It's not going to go anywhere. It's kind of stopped for now. We'll clean up the front and whatnot as well, because that's a little dirty. No big deal. But what I'm going to do is, because these leg levelers are like hammered in and I don't feel like really taking them off right now, one thing you could do if you don't have any leg levelers is you make yourself some skis. And all I did, well, this is just a piece of scrap wood here, and put an angle on it, sanded this nice and smooth on the other side, and we'll put them on just like this, like runners. They'll come off easily should we need to take them off, but it keeps it off the ground until we get some leg levelers in here. This has no T-nuts in here, so if I put a leg leveler in there, it's not going to go anywhere, which is probably why these are here. These must be like the hammer-in ones, and I feel like, you know, nothing, plastic part is spinning, but the metal part is not. I don't feel like fussing with it. This is something you can do. Would I do it for everything? No, definitely not. But considering the condition of this game, this is what we're going to do. This took about 5 minutes, and I just cut it a little bit shorter than the actual length, so we'll go ahead and nail it on. Actually, we're going to use staples. So there it is. We got 2 staples in it, just kind of holding it into place. We'll go ahead and we'll put this in. Make sure you wear your proper eye protection, blah, blah, blah. Safety hazard stuff. And we'll hammer that in at the very end. Just make sure when you do this that there's no electronics sitting in the bottom. You don't want to accidentally go through something. In this case, I think we're all set. So I'll go ahead and do the other one, and maybe we'll move this game in and get it out of the snow. Took a bunch of games out, and we have a little bit of room now. Not much. Got a big gap here, and I can move. There we go. There's the lights. Move that cabinet over, and we can get at least 1 car in here. That's the idea, anyway. And then these Robotron Minis are almost ready to go. All right, let's wrap this up. We'll get it in the house. Okay, did it. Wife's car's in the garage. Everything that was here has been moved over to storage in the barn. I think I've got 6 games in a barn. But yes, I did beat the snow, barely. It started snowing yesterday afternoon, about an hour or 2 after I finished, and as we can tell now, I've got lots of snow in the driveway. I snowblowed 7 inches of snow this morning, and it's snowing again tonight. And sure, hopefully this stops soon. I think it's gonna stop in the middle of the night. But yeah, wife's car's in the garage. So let's go back downstairs, and we're going to go take a look at that horrible Frogger cabinet that's falling apart and see what's going on with that. Back inside. Okay, let's come back in the basement, and as you guys can see, we have the Frogger cabinet over here, and it is indeed a Frogger cabinet. It tells us so, and there's a couple other markings in here that indicate that it is indeed a Frogger cabinet. You guys can see that. There we go. So this has been converted to Tiger Heli, which I played it on Nintendo. I didn't think it was that great, but needed to get out of the garage. As you saw, I needed to get my wife's car in there. So it's in, and this is the control panel. I do have some bolts for it, but it's loose at the moment. And there is the monitor that was in here not working, and yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed this, there's a sticker here that says Coin Op Warehouse, and those guys down in Maryland. I didn't actually pay $155 for this, paid less, significantly less, I believe. But there's the monitor and the whole mounting system there that holds it, and it kind of slides in almost similar to the Williams Minis, where it slides in here and then sits down on those. But the monitor's not working, and I just kind of want to get a working game up and running. That Arkanoid cabinet I picked up with a giant hole in the front, if you guys recall. Well, the monitor worked, and we pulled the monitor out. It's disgusting. It's filthy, like super filthy. But it didn't have the right power connector, so we made something. Let me show you what we made here. Let's see. I'll pull this. Let's see if I can pull this out. Maybe. Hold on. Give me a second. Come right back. Okay. I pulled it out from the monitor side here. So the monitor has a typical power connector, and of course this has the other typical power connector, which has the 3 things on it here. Let me see if I can show you. Down here in the dark, this has 3. It's a 3-pin connector. Of course, the monitor is only a 2-pin connector. So I made a quick little thing. This is going to be a little handy piece to have in your toolbox. I just took some wire and I twisted it together, and on one side I put the female pin connectors, and I didn't put the actual plastic connector on it. And on the other side I put, down there that you can't see in the dark, I put the male version. So now that I can actually connect the two things, and it gives me a little bit of an extension. So if I'm testing monitors, I can just quickly grab this out of my bag or out of my toolbox and use this. So that's just a little handy thing to have for you. So we're going to plug this in to this monitor and maybe it'll work. Well, it did work, but you know how this hobby goes. It works yesterday, doesn't mean it's going to work today. Game was playing blind when we got it, but the monitor was dead. So let's see what it does today. Let me just go ahead and we'll plug this back in down there, and I'm gonna have to drop the monitor, drop the camera for this. Don't drop the monitor. Freudian slip. Hope it wasn't a Freudian slip. Anyway, here we go. Let's plug that in. So there is the two wires connected into this connector here. It's AC, so coming off the isolation transformer, it goes over there. There's the board. I've already tested voltage at the power supply, and it, you know, in there, there's the switching power supply, and it does have like 5.05 volts, so we're good there. Here's the dirty monitor, and we'll pull the interlock switch and turn it on. That's flickering. There you go. Is the monitor coming on? Hey, it is coming on. And look, it says Tiger Heli. And it's absolutely disgusting and dirty. My sweatshirt's all dirty now. But this is good. Do I have sound? I think there's an attract sound. Maybe? I don't know. We'll wait a minute. Yeah, look. Okay, cool. Tracked sounds there. Let me see if I can get a game coined up. Do I have any? Let's see. All right, hold on one second. Let me go around to the coin door and we'll coin it up. You know that one time you're like, I'm just gonna come over here and flick the little switch. It's not the easy to reach one, and then I'm like, I'll just grab a quarter because I have an arcade in my basement, and then you can't find a quarter. Let's see what happens. There we go. We got a credit in. Alright, one player. That's good. Put our trusty quarter here off the side so we don't lose it. Let's see if I can reach the button and keep the camera here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how far our controls work. Yeah, one of the buttons is stuck. Yeah, that button's working. I don't know if all the buttons are working. But yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that bomb button's working. Those bombs. There we go. Tiger Heli is the leading of high-class games coming into the basement. We need to adjust and clean that monitor. You can see the Arkanoid burn in it. Oh my god. Look, this is disgusting. Alright. We're good. We're going to adjust the monitor another time. We're going to clean it first. See? It's dirty. Tim. Yep. There's that Tim guy. Wait, I'll probably go. That Tim guy. There you go, somewhere down there. Gross. Alright. We're gonna clean this thing now, clean it up, and I'll show you how everything's going back into that weird monitor bracket after I do a couple things and I wash my hands. That's gross. Alright, off to cleaning land. So I cleaned it up. I can see that it also, so this came out of a game that's Arkanoid, which we can clearly see here clear as day that this game is, you know, the monitor's off and it's still playing Arkanoid with itself. But down here in the bottom, it also says Sega 1983, and the Arkanoid game was in a centipede cabinet, and I can't quite tell if there is some sort of centipede burn in here in the middle. I can't quite tell. And we kind of go up to the side. You can see the Arkanoid, double burn, actually. It's burned itself in twice. We've got some other scores up there. So, if you guys have any idea, hey, what Sega game this was in? This monitor did not come out of this game originally. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know if you guys have any ideas what that burn-in is. I'm just always curious. But it's been burned in multiple times. Several different games have had its chance to make their mark. Alright. So the way this is going to mount is going to be in this wooden contraption here. We're going to need to unbolt with these 3 bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the bottom. And then we'll actually be able to remove this whole frame, the monitor frame, with the tube and everything attached to it. And we'll put the other one in, bolt it in the same way. This does have the vertical frame, which is convenient because this one also does have the vertical frame here. Sometimes you get the horizontal frame, so it's mounted a little bit differently, so I would have had to do a whole frame swap. I don't need to do that in this case, but things you do need to make sure you watch out for is just how the monitor is oriented when you're mounting a game. It's not going to be always so simple, but you do want that. This is a vertical frame here. As far as what chassis this is a Wells Gardner. There's something down there that says it is a 4900 in the dark, somewhere down there. The sticker's falling off. The other one that came out, which we will hopefully fix, I think it's a G07. Yeah, definitely a G07. You can tell by that metal frame, that metal shield on it. So, and it even says it somewhere else. It says, oh, down there in the dark, Electro Home. The blue sticker there that's upside down is Electro Home sticker. So that's what we're gonna do next. So we'll swap over the tube, and then we can clean up this game once everything focuses. There we go. And we can play Tiger Heli in the basement until our heart's content. Actually, we're only going to leave it Tiger Heli for a little while. What we're going to end up doing is I'm going to change it over to JAMA, because this game is not JAMA. Tiger Heli is a ROMstar, whatever class they use for that. So I will need to change it over to JAMA. I think I'm just going to put a 16 one in it. I know, but it's going to work. And we'll get the artwork. We'll at least get the monitor bezel, the one with the tire track on it, and then we'll get the control panel overlay, and we'll get the marquee, because I'm not going to even bother putting side art on this. Not all of the Froggers had side art, as far as I can tell. This one doesn't look like it's got any remnants of it. It just has a nice gouge on this side and more marks. I think it probably looks better on film here than it does in person. This game's in rough shape, like really truly. I put wood hardener on it so it wouldn't shed all over my basement. Let me see, can we see the other side here in these tight quarters here? Yeah, there's some damage down here on the side, right here, and yeah. So this is going to get wedged in between 2 games. I'm thinking of putting it next to my other Sega title here, the one that's actually nice looking. We'll put it next to the Zaxxon. We're going to move the Robotron Mini and show off that gorgeous side art and put it over here next to Rescue 911. We'll slide Rescue 911 down a little bit, and maybe this giant Silver Strike Golden Tee cabinet over a little bit. I gotta be sure I can get to that thermostat though. And yeah, then we'll be at capacity down here, which capacity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Zach's on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Tiger Heli 14, Marble Madness 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Did I really get 20 games in here? My wife's gonna kill me. It is now time to pull the old monitor out of this wooden frame here and take this other one that we know is working and put it in there, because that's how they mounted the two. I did adjust the monitor here a little bit. I didn't really do much to it, but I'll show you what I adjusted. This is a Wells Gardner 4900, and while it is still playing Arkanoid while it is off, we did adjust the brightness of it. The contrast, or the black level on this, was too high. And let me just show you where that is, if I can get in here. So there is a little knob, let's see. It is this one right here. You can see, nope, you can't see that because the flybacks. There it is. Now you see it. And we turn that just a little bit to get the black dialed in. It was just a little bit too bright. You can also adjust things a little bit by using the flyback. I used the black level there to adjust it, and away we went. I did use a TV adjustment tool because I wanted to be able to reach back there and see it while I was adjusting it. And while you can use your fingers on those knobs because they're plastic, that's fine. It was just made it easier for me to reach because I got a red tent in the way, and it's, you know, plenty of snow. By the way, we got a ton of snow. I don't think you can. It's I took care of it. Oh, there you go. Look, tons of snow. Like 18 inches of snow in this storm, all said and done. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna start unbolting this. There's a bunch of bolts here that we're going to undo, and then we'll drop the tube out the back and put the new one in. But I'm going to go charge the battery while I unloosen some bolts on the camera. So we're going to start taking out the bolts for this monitor. I charged the battery up for like 5 minutes. Undid a few bolts down here at the bottom. I'm just going to use a pair of vice grips and a 7/16 socket here. One thing you can do, since I'm doing this one-handed, if you guys don't know this, you can use the vice grip to be your other hand. So when you put it on here, you start turning the ratchet, and the vice grip turns until it hits something, and it's like you've got your second hand there. Isn't that nice? Nice little trick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep loosening all these and put this tube down on its face on here on the carpet, or you could use a towel somewhere. That'll be the best way to pull this off. We'll go from there. So now I've got the monitor on its face here, and this wood frame is just going to drop down once we undo this last one. Okay. Can I get it off? There we go. Boom. There you go. Now that is out, so we can literally just lift this tube straight up, and we'll put the other tube in just like this. And this tube actually does have some light Tiger Heli burn on it as well. I'll flip it over so we can take a quick look. Here's the frame after we took the tube out, and we'll leave this last bolt here so we can have something to line it up with, at least get it started. And I don't know if you can see it, but this black bar here, that's the prop blade of the helicopter there. And you can kind of see real light in here. It says Tiger Heli. Very minimal. And then there's the high score burned in up there. But yeah, very light burn. There, it does have Tiger Heli burn on it though. Not bad. And then here's the frame. We are going to secure this part a little bit better. It's just being held on with a couple staples actually. So we'll hammer that in place. Maybe put a couple screws in. We'll see. But that's something you could do if that is loose. This part's fine. Let's go get that other tube and put it in. Here's the other tube in place. It's just loose here, literally sitting on top. We've got that last bolt we did, so we'll lift the whole thing up and line it up. Hopefully not lose the bolt entirely. Put them all in, and we're back in shape there. Ideally, right? That's the idea. That's the idea. Alright, the burned in Arkanoid monitor is in. It's a Wells Gardner 4900. And the dead lightly Tiger Heli burn monitor, which was Electrohome Geo7, is out. We'll repair this at some point. One other thing we're going to need to do is to pull off this connector here. We'll use our depinning tool, and we'll pull it off so that we can use it again with the monitor over there, because that's the connector it's using. We want to make sure that we're not using our extension cord for this case. So we will depin this. Let me go see if I can quickly depin this. Here is your depinning tool. I would tell you to go get one of these at Radio Shack, but your local Radio Shack has since closed. It's where I got mine. It's a Molex depinning tool for, what is it, 0.93. Anyway, the way it works is you put it on this side of the pin, you push down until you feel or hear a little click. And what it's doing is it's kind of going over the little tiny tabs in here that keep it from falling out the back side. And once it goes over those, this will push the pin through. So that's all you have to do. These are worth getting for sure. There you go, there's one out. Sometimes they're a pain in the neck. Did I get it? Nope. Anyway, that's the idea here. Come on. Oh. I think I bent it. Did I really bend it? Seriously? I didn't bend it. I did bend it. Alright. How did I bend it? Oh, that's because, look at this. Yeah, this is like the old style connector. Alright, so I'm gonna play around with this. I gotta straighten it back out. But I'll fix that. And we'll take off that connector. Well, I got it out. I did save the connector, but it broke the pin. I don't know if you can see this or not. So part of it split open. This is the style that as it gets pushed in, it opens up. So it opened up and it split apart. Let's see if I can zoom in. Maybe. Anyway, so there it is. And in here is the remaining bit of the pin and that top hole there. Gotta push that out. Maybe. Zoom out. Yeah, it's like stuck. Man. No wonder it didn't want to come out. It's stuck. Embedded in the plastic. There we go. There it is. That's part of it. It got wedged in there. That's why it wouldn't come out so easily. No big deal. We'll put another pin on that monitor and we'll take this connector over and put it on the other one. And as you can see, what everyone does when they need to change a connector over, they probably just have a bunch of these and they just actually splice it in to the old wire. We could do that too. In theory, I thought it would be quick and easy to just change over the connector, which generally it is, but That's another way to do it. It was actually done on both of these monitors. I see it quite frequently. Not a bad way to do things. It's common. I do like having the right connector, so somebody probably just clipped the connector and spliced it in. That one came out nice. There's 1, 2, and that's how quick and easy it's supposed to be. And then we just take this and put it in to our new connector. And there's the side with the different shapes that connects into the actual monitor connector on the power connector on the cabinet. So we'll just go ahead and put one on the far side. These should just push in and click, hopefully. Yep. Didn't hear click though. But, alright, there they go. They're in. And now we have our power connector. Time to go put this in the cabinet. We've put the monitor back into the cabinet here with the whole wooden mount thing that's going on here. And I need to put the cardboard bezel back in. Before I do that, I just want to show you kind of how this sits in here. And getting this out and in isn't the easiest thing to do. But the way it works is you can pull from up here and it'll start to slide, but when you get to these blocks, there's those blocks right there, you're going to need to start to tilt the whole entire monitor so that it's flat, and then so it kind of comes down so that this bottom part is almost towards the sky to get it out. I know I kind of fought with it the first time I did it to get it in and out, but once you do that, you should be good. Before I kind of button this up, there's a couple other things I'm going to need to do. I do need to put the cardboard bezel back in. I just thought this was a black monitor bezel, but it actually is the original Frogger one. If you look closely, the light hits it just right. You can see the frog's footprints through the black paint. And there's some more stuff over here too. And it's really hard to see, but sometimes I was able to make out part of the tire tread, but for the most part it's just black paint. But it's kind of neat that they actually used the original. At the same time, I wish they saved the original. Oh well. And I mean, they even have the sticker over here too that got painted over. So there's bits and pieces of the Frogger. I mean, we still have the Frogger serial number there, and there's more inside the cabinet as far as what it says for Frogger, and you know, the inspection tag here, you know, leftover electronics and whatnot. Although I feel like this cabinet's like my Zaxxon, where there's no power switch. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I got the interlock here, but once it's plugged in, it's just kind of on. Oh well. Wish there was an on-off switch. I've noticed that a couple times that when I turned the game on, I got nothing, and then I would power cycle it on and off, you know, wait 5 seconds in between, and sure enough, the game came right on. So I don't know. We'll have to fuss with it. One of the other things I do want to do is change this from quarter play to free play, and the dip switch settings, the dip switches are over here, and I need to change 6, 7, and 8 on the dip switch here. Let's I need a light. Hold on. Pardon me. We'll go get a light. All right, we got our light. So we need to come over here to the first dip switch, and we need to change 6, 7, 8, which are the last 3 switches here. They're currently off. That's for quarter play. We need to turn them all to on. So if we can get in here, filming and blah blah blah. It's dark now because my hand's in the way of the light. There's the light. Sorry, I was trying to use it with the tool so you could see, but 1, 2, 3, maybe, if those switches work. We'll power the game back on and see what happens. There's a couple other settings in there for the helicopter speed. We might play with that too, just to see what's going on. See what I like better, normal or fast. Might make the game a little more exciting. But let's go ahead and turn it back on, make sure it actually worked to free play. Pull that switch. And see if it comes on. Oh, there's the light. Hello, light. Ah, yes, it is on. Let's go take a look. Oh, that's annoying. There's our free play on Tiger Heli. 99 credits on a static screen. Nobody's gonna know what this game is. That means there's no track or anything. Does it work? Yep. Great. Okay. Definitely not gonna do that. Yep. Yeah, okay. Alright, there we go. I do like the feel with this Monroe joystick in here. It's kind of nice. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna leave that. That's not gonna work for me. Because I don't want it on a static screen. I mean, not that I'm worried about burn-in. It's already got burn-in on it. It's just kind of annoying. Okay. We're gonna change it back. We tried. I think I might have a spare one of Adam's coin-ups we could put in. But I'll do that at another point. I'll make people pay to play Tiger Heli when they come by. This game's gonna rake in cash. Alright. Off. And we're going back. So 6, 7, and 8 need to go back on. I mean off, rather. There we go. They're all back off. Let me go check the settings, see if I can figure out which one the helicopter is. Maybe we'll try that one real quick too. So to do the helicopter for fast, it says switch 1 should be on, which it already is, which is the factory setting, and that didn't seem fast. I'm curious as to what quote-unquote normal is. So we'll try that. And I'm gonna need a quarter. Gotta go find my quarter. Hold on. I can't believe how hard it is to find a quarter. You know, I had a quarter earlier when I was filming it, and then, you know, this is like a different day. I lost it, so we're gonna put a quarter in. We'll catch it. Yep. Start a game. Put the quarter on Marble Madness so we don't lose it. Let's see if this is any faster or slower. First we have to rise out of the truck. Oh, I see. It's just like moving slower. Is it though? I don't feel like it's that much different. I don't know. A little slower maybe. I'm gonna change it back to fast. Okay. Not much difference. We'll go back to the factory settings. Although, this game's growing on me slowly. Tiger Heli is slowly growing on me. Don't know why. Maybe because I'm working on it. I feel like it's one of those games that you get. It's like one of your first games, maybe. This is not my first by any means, but, you know, it's kind of a dog. Needed some love. Wasn't entirely working, but as it's slowly coming together, I might actually play this for a little bit. We'll see. Okay, let's change that dip switch back. It was over here. It was number 1 on this bank right here, so we're going to slide it back. There we go. And it's back to normal. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we'll put the cardboard in after we clean it off. And let's see, the marquee light's working. We'll clean the front here. This is filthy. You guys can probably see the dirt on it right there. We'll take the coin op sticker off at some point. Gotta find the bolts. Hopefully they're in the coin bucket. We'll bolt that back on. Let's see. Before we do that, let's take a look at the bottom. See what's actually going on in here. While I hold this and balance everything. Maybe. Stop getting stuck on things. The cabinet's so swollen it's getting stuck. There we go. Up, up. One-handed everything. Ta-da! Okay. Here we go. There's the joystick. We know it is indeed a Monroe joystick because, well, it says so. See over there on the Monroe, kind of stamped in there. There's your Monroe joystick. It's actually a pretty simple looking joystick. Let me see if I can balance this thing here. Okay. So when it moves, this is what it looks like when it moves. Nice and smooth. Very simple. I like this joystick. Feels nice and smooth. The whole thing just spins. You know, you're not locked into anything, which is why they probably use that on Gyrus and other games. But it's a nice feeling joystick, I'll give you that. All the leaf switches there, perfect. They did solder everything on, which happens. It's an operator hack for sure. Not a hack. They did this. They soldered it on, probably because they didn't have any connectors when they were doing it. And they're now just here forever. So if you ever need to replace a leaf switch, you have to desolder it out. And then actually put a connector on. Which is no big deal. It happens. Okay. Well, there you go. There's the Monroe joystick. Nice little joystick there. Got all the leaf switch buttons. They've drilled holes in this because this was a Frogger, so they've put more holes in it. When we change it back to Frogger, we're just going to leave the holes. We're not going to fill them. We'll just put the overlay right on it. Maybe we'll even leave the buttons. Who knows? So that it can be, you know, a proper 16-1 or something. Should I do that? All right. This video is getting long enough. We're going to clean this up, put the back door on, bolt everything down, and maybe I'll probably move it in place at some point. Maybe in this video. Who knows? Who knows? Stop talking, Tim. This poor cabinet. It's back together. It is shedding wood still off the back doors. I picked up the back door and I just watched wood crumble off of it. Some more wood fell off. I need to put probably some more wood hardener here on the back. I mean, I even put a screw in here and it just started to split. I didn't think the back doors were in that rough a shape, but apparently they are. I did adjust the voltage on the power supply. I made it come up to about 4.84, 4.85 at the board. It was originally 4.5, 4.4, 4.5, which I'm surprised that was actually working, but that would have explained why it may have not started the first time. And it wasn't doing that, but the power supply did get jostled around in the process of moving the cabinet. I saw that it wasn't actually screwed down very well, so the power supply could be on its way out. We'll get to it when it happens. But one of the other things we did make for this video, we made our little extension cable. We put 2 female pins on one end, and then on the other end, if we can one-hand this, we put the male ends. So that we can use this as our power connector. Like it's almost like an extension cord for the monitor power connectors. So if we don't have the right connector, if it doesn't reach, we can use this to, you know, be able to put the monitor on a stool or something like that. This worked out well. It's, you know, maybe about 2 feet long, just long enough. And to get this fancy twist, in case you guys don't know how to do that, you take one end and you put it in a vise and it holds it. You have a friend hold it, and you take the other end and you put it in a drill, and you just take, you know, take out your screwdriver bit and put the 2 wires in there and let the drill do its job. It'll spin this up and you just keep going until you've got it to the point where you want. It makes it look nice and professional, and more importantly, keeps it all together. So there you go, guys. If you have any questions about Tiger Heli, now that it is here, we're going to slide it into its spot at another point. I think I have to shift like 5 games. It's going to be the great arcade shift of 2019. We're literally going to slide everything down and then take the Robotron Mini out over here. It's not leaving. We're just going to slide it over next to the Rescue 911 because there's some spot next to the stairs, and we'll slide this down a little bit. And then we'll be at 20 games down here, and we'll sit there next to Zaxxon, and they can be matching wood grain buddies. And there we go. So We're gonna have to shift turbo and everybody else down just to gain a few inches to get it in. But if you have any questions about Tiger Heli, we'll do a gameplay video at some point, and we'll make lousy commentary on it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know, and thanks again for watching. I do appreciate it. It makes it fun reading all those comments. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and thank you again for watching.